Welcome to another day of decimal equations. Today, we're trying to use that multiplying from the last two lessons to help us solve equations by multiplying. So I don't know if you notice a pattern, but it's like practice the more basic decimals and then put them in an equation for 7th grade. Practice the more basic decimals, put them in an equation for 7th grade. So that's kind of the pattern that we're working on. If we're looking at this problem, it says m divided by negative 7.2. Again, here's that pattern. If the question says divide, our job is to multiply. Try not to use that x for multiply. It looks like a variable and it gets really confusing. So try to either use the parentheses or the dot. What's left then is a multiplication decimal problem. And some people might be saying, well, should I solve it exactly or should I estimate it? And the correct answer is both. You want to use the estimation either first to see what your answer should be close to, or at the end to check how did it go, how did I do. Also, there's a couple things you can know right away. I see a negative times a negative. I know right away my answer is positive, and I see that my answer should have 2 decimal places in it. Will I need a side problem? Definitely. So I'm thinking my answer is going to be 90. And since I didn't estimate first, I should estimate second in my checkbox to make sure that I'm even close to the right idea. So negative 12.5, we'll round that to negative 13. Negative 7.2, we'll round that to negative 7. Great news! The estimate said my answer should be close to 91, and I got 90 when I actually did my side problem. So it looks like I'm on the right track. Same strategy in box number 2. M divided by 3.3. My job, multiply by 3.3. Try not to use the x for multiply. That gets too messy, too confusing. This time I was thinking I might use my checkbox first to estimate. 4.5, let's call that 5. 3.3, we'll call that 3. So I'm predicting I'm going to get an answer close to negative 15. I'm still going to do a side problem for my actual multiplying to see just how close am I. Is this even reasonable? Wow! My estimate was I should be close to -15, and my actual answer, -14.85. That worked out really nicely. I saw the estimate. Was my answer close? Was it reasonable? For sure. Moving down to boxes 3 and 4. You should pause the video now and give those a try by yourself and come back to see how you did. For box 3, I did something a little different in my checkbox because 0.5 I noticed is very close and actually exactly half. So what's half of -6? I cut -6 in half. Oh, -3. What was my exact answer? Oh, -3. Looks like I'm on the right track. Last two examples, again, pause the video, come back and check to see how you did. You can kind of see a pattern happening. Multiply on both sides. Find your exact answer. Use estimation to see, is my exact answer reasonable? Am I close? Does that make sense? Also, a couple things I'm noticing before I even get the answer. A negative times a negative is a positive answer, so I know that right away. And I see 2 decimals in the problem, so my answer will also have 2 decimals in it. Okay, so my actual or exact answer, I put those 2 decimal places in. Since they're zeros, I can choose whether I would like to write them or not. Negative times a negative is a positive. Always good to check my work. My estimate tells me I should be close to 5,400. My exact answer, 5,472. Since we're working on really big numbers, I think that is a pretty good estimate. My actual answer seems to be close. You are now ready to work on page 148. I should see some check boxes or check column or whatever you like to do. This means you. See you later.